Hey, welcome back. All right, so tune into another the second Cipher break session. I've really got to figure out how to word these things, but this is the second break session of the first Cipher of the day. Hopefully, you are doing well and you're getting things done. I actually finished up all the post radio show promo stuff, but I kind of cheated and started earlier. I got up earlier this morning to finish it up because it's a little bit more work because my co-host wasn't able to make it. So then I had to do what he does. And so, yeah, so got that done. Feel good. So now I can actually start to work on other projects. So, yeah. All right. So I figured I will just show a project that I've been working on and kind of just it's a quick thing that I created just because a lot of the projects I create are things that I need like in my life that come up. And I totally forgot to hit the speech recognition. My bad. Now I should have the speech recognition. All right. So a lot of ideas for projects I make kind of come up in my own life. And so they're kind of basically just to solve my own issue. So recently, uh, I and a couple of friends came together and we're renting out an office space in Orlando. And so with that, eventually, because I do presentations and stuff for like work and things, so it'd be cool that you don't see this pretty much if I'm doing like a conference or something, like an online conference. But actually have like some sort of actual office space kind of thing. So that's the plan. And plus I want to do some other things there, like throw some like do some live streaming like events and stuff like that. So that's neither here nor there. That's for another project later on. So the way I'm new into the office thing with my friends or what have you, they just brought me in, and I guess they were using an app before, and so I'm on the text chain group thing, and like I'm getting messages about who changed the password. I'm like, wait, what? And so I guess the app that they're using, there's all a shared password. So the app was to help schedule like different rooms in the office. This is a pretty big office. There's like three different rooms, three, four different rooms. And so they have a schedule where you can say, hey, I need the room from this time to this time. So I guess the app they were using, everyone shared the same password. And then if somebody accidentally changed the password, then that would snowball into this thing where like, oh, who changed the password? Let us know, or could you change it back, or all these other things. And I just got a bunch of text messages. I'm like, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way to work this out. So I created this. Took me like 3 days. It's super bare bones. Maybe if everybody likes it, maybe we'll add more onto it. But right now, it's just you can log in with your email address, so there is no shared login. Let me share my screen. Speaking of sharing, uh, start screen share. I'm not going to need any audio. Do this. Cool. So I made a quick web app. And so over on the right-hand side, this is what you see when you're trying to log in, right? And so now Bob at bob.net. I don't know if that's the actual thing. So, but if you try to submit, it'll let you know like, oh, your email wasn't found in the approved list. And so on the back end, I have all my friends' emails. And so what happens is this input gets sent to the back end, checks to see if it's one of the list. If not, it sends back with this sorry message. Now, if you are in the approved list, what's going to happen is that it'll say, oh, okay, now check your email for the link to log in. So there's no passwords or anything. You know what I mean? So the way you log in is that your email that's on the approved list, you'll be sent a link to where you can go and click that link in your own email, and then you'll be redirected into the site. So no remembering passwords or anything. It's just don't lose control of your email, basically. So that's that. Cool. Now, so that's when if you try to log in. Let's take a look at what happens when you are logged in. So it's just a web app. So it's the kind of thing to where you can pull it up on your phone. It's mobile responsive, as you saw there. Oh, whoops, click the wrong button. So you can see it just fits to the mobile. So I figured it'd be cool. Eventually, what I'll do, if everybody likes it, I'll probably just make it a PWA. This is a super proof of concept right now. But if everybody digs it, make a PWA so they can like download it on their phones, and it'll be like an app. They just click a button, it loads up. You'll be able to check whatever you want. Or you can just bookmark it on your site, and then you'll be able to see what's available, kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I made it a web app. Cool. So now you're presented with, you can log out, and then here's a select the date that you're looking for, maybe booking a room in the office. And then also here's like my open like the bookings you already have, so my bookings, and you can open it. Notice it says close right there also. But yeah, so these are like the different rooms or the different bookings just I made up or whatever, right? And so you can kind of see the date, which room, and like the time. And then I can delete the booking if I want. We'll see that soon. Cool. So now let's say we want to go for today. So bam, right here, we'll choose that. And then we'll select it. And then you're brought up with this screen. And so what's happening is that, so it shows, the date that you selected and the different rooms, right? And it also tells you your time zone, just in case. I don't think we'll ever use it, because I guess if somebody's in another time zone and like if they're doing a show or something, or they're out and they want to book, they'll be able to see within, the thing. I don't know if we'll ever use it, but whatever. So yeah, so here we go. And it just kind of lists from 12 a.m. to it's kind of like like 11:59 pretty much, because then 12 a.m. is the next day. So that's how that works. Now, as you can see here, below here is open a booking form. And again, you notice when it's open, you can say close. Cool. So then what happens is you select a room. So let's say I need the live room. These names can be changed and stuff, so it's nothing too horrible to change. Let's say we want to go from, I don't know, like 9 a.m. to, let's say, let's say 5. Let's say I need it like all day, right? And you can notice here, you only can do like half-hour intervals, and that's going to be important later. And it's, let's say, to 5 p.m., right? Cool. Oh, and that so you notice this one says 0, 33, and 59. That's if you want to go till like midnight. So that's because, again, 12 a.m. is the next day. So you'll be able to book 11:59 p.m. So that's why I have that extra one there. All right. Cool. So let's say we want to do 9 to 5, and then the live room. So we'll add the booking. I think I had a thing where it would tell it. Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I think I need to make this space a little bit bigger because it's not showing. Let me see here. Because I'm pretty sure I had a thing where it tells you the status. If not, I need to add it. Maybe that was a thing I wanted to add. I don't know. But yeah, I should have a thing where it tells you the status of it. Thought I did. Guess I didn't. Note to myself. All right. So now let's close the booking. And then hopefully, if we scroll down, bam. So here we go. So I just created the book. I booked that room for that time. So as you can see, it goes from 9 a.m. all the way down till 5 p.m. Great. Awesome. So now, let's say if I wanted to delete that, right? Let's say I made a mistake or somebody else needs the room or what have you, and I really didn't need it. So I can go back here, go back to open my bookings, scroll down, and then I should probably have these in reverse order probably so that well, I don't know. Maybe you're booking in the, we'll see. Again, just made this, hopefully get some feedback from my friends and we can figure out whatever best works for everybody. But right now, this is just bare bones. And then so you can delete the booking. and you see it goes away from the list, right? So then when I go back to it, it is no longer there. Cool. So now let's say I needed the room. Let's say I need the studio because I rap and things. I don't rap. So let's get with the studio. Let's say 12 a.m. because rappers like to do stuff super early. Let's say to 3 a.m. Just a quick verse. All right. So add the booking. And did I do that right? Hopefully. So I close the booking form. Scroll up. Bam. There we go. 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Great. And it's in the studio. So you see kind of how that works. Now, what kind of threw me, or one of the things that in working on it that I had tried to figure out was how to know to show when somebody books something, to show that up on the grid here, right? And that's basically what it is. So what I did was, so here's like the same page, right? What I did was that I sliced each section in a half, so that so this is like 12:15 a.m., 12:45 a.m., 1:15 a.m., and I got the UTC time because everything is stored in UTC time, right? So that regardless of wherever you are, it is the same time. It's because on the client I calculate your local your time zone local to you, and then I do some math and I show that time that's in the database as UTC to what it is in your local time. Cool. So that was the whole thing. So everything is stored UTC, right? So that is the Greenwich time, where it's like, how there's time zones, that's like 0. And then I add and subtract depending on your time zone, so it shows to your local time zone. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, hit me up and we can talk about it more. But so that's how I do that, so that I have like one source of truth of time, regardless of where you are in the world. That at 0 time, that is that time. And so locally, I can manipulate it to your local time zone so it shows up proper for you. Cool. And so then what happens is I take that and I can figure out, I just add like 15 minutes to each one of these here. So I take the time. So because what I was thinking about doing was as these grids are being created, check them with the database to see if there's a match. But now I was like, well, that's gonna be a lot of calls, right? Because there's so many different actual like time slots, that what if there's a bunch of bookings? So you have all these time slots, all these bookings, and it's not even necessarily for that day. So all these things going back and forth. So I thought that would be too much call. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what I can do is I know the day, so I can query the database and get just that day, right? Because I know the time zone, so I can figure out, all right, I can just say, all right, from this start time to this end time, right? Relative to that person, because start and end days are different depending on where you are, right? And so I know what the start date is for your time zone. And that's why I have like the America/New York, because I'm on the East Coast. And so from that, I can then query the database to get the proper time zone for that day, for that proper time zone, right? Cool. So I take that data, and then what I do is, so that's less a lot of times than what could, unless it's fully booked, that data for that day is going to be less than what the data that's needed for the grid, correct, for the day, right? So only time they'll ever be equal is if it's fully booked. Everything, every room, every time slot is booked. That's the only time they'll be equal, and then that will be the most. But other than that, the database is going to be less than the grid. So I was like, all right, so it's probably better to start off with the database data. So then what I do is I take the start and end. So each one of these sets here, like the halfway points, their IDs for their div is unique. So I take that calculation of the time for that, let's say 12:45 a.m. for September 19th. in my local time zone. I take that value and then I add on the room. So it'd be like blah 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 number hyphen podcast. And so that way, if that same time for studio, it would be the same number, but studio, making it unique, right? Cool. So then what I do is I have the database, and the database tells me the time beginning, time, and end that the person wants to book, and the room, and their name, right? So I take that data. So I take the start, I take the end, and I go through and I add the same 15-minute intervals, right? And so I know the room. So I can, as I'm going through it, I can, because those are the ones that have been booked, and they're 30-minute blocks. So let's say the person wants till 1 a.m. Well, then the 12:45 is going to fall within that. So if they chose 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., right? That means that 12:15 is going to be included, as well as 12:45. So I can use that as an indicator to turn that block red and insert the name. So I go, like I said, I take the booked time interval and I go through in 15 minutes. And then so I know that time, I know the room, so I can put them together and I can search for that like block through the ID that I just generated, and then turn that to red and put the person's name into it. So then that looks like this. And so with that, it's just less calls to make. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if I had to go through each room and try, it'd be too much. So I figured that would be a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient. Now, right now, there's no way for conflicts. I think I may have figured it out how to fix that. And it's similar to the way I did it to determine whether or not to fill a time slot. And so I'm going to be working on that maybe today, hopefully, and get that done. And maybe I'll do a follow-up to show that. But for right now, this is it. And I think it worked out pretty good. It's pretty cool. And so I'm looking forward to seeing if it's useful for my friends when we're booking out the room. Right now, there's not so much. I'm not going to the office right now. So probably not until like the beginning of the year, honestly, of the new year. So but just in case, I may want to set something up in there to where I can do stuff. But right now, I don't plan on going in. So yeah, so it's not a lot of bookings or anything, but it's there for us to use. And I think it's cool. And it's, I think it will work better for our situation, because I definitely don't want to have the shared password and then have to go through who changed what. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we'll see. And then at least with this, then we can build it to more of like fit our use case. You know what I mean? And so it's just an opportunity to figure stuff out as well. So that's that. So that is the thing I made. The random side project. Again, it took like 3 days to try to figure everything out, get it all up and running. And I used Svelte to kind of build out the actual application, and the authentication and all the database stuff is on Firebase. I use Firestore, and then just the passwordless email login stuff. And that's pretty much just it. And I host it also on Firebase. So that way, everything is kind of all together. It's just a quick thing I did, deployed it. Everything's there. I get the HTTPS stuff for free. All that stuff is just ready to go. And so that's why I did that. All right. So I blabbered on more than normal. So at the final Cipher, not final, but the final session, break session, like I will either go shorter or give you more time as we normally do for the final work session. But yeah, so that's it. So made that. Thought it was cool, so I thought I would share. And so if you have anything like that, see, it's like it doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Just whatever it is that you're working on, kind of come up and share it. That's the whole point of the show and tell. So pretty much like that was an example of a show and tell kind of thing. So if you have anything that you're working on, feel free to come and ask, to be to display it. All right, or if there's anything that you found cool. Also, that is also appreciated. All right, so that's it. Thank you all once again for hanging out. I'm gonna get you all back to work, And I think that is everything. When we come back, if we don't have a show and tell, we're going to go over an artist's website that I like, and we'll take a look at it. Maybe listen to some music, check out some videos. Maybe you'll like that person also and support them. Maybe buy an album or something. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I just want to give you options. All right, cool. So thanks again. And we'll be right back 15 minutes after the hour. And let me share the screen. And then I definitely want to share the audio because I want to get y'all going with some jams. All right. Thanks again, y'all. And see you soon. All right. Much productivity to you. All right. Be easy. Peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there when a brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like and everybody says we spread a love like I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I want to say thank you for being there when a brother had nowhere to turn.